Greetings, Keishlings. Keishan Prime here with another One Punch Man theory video. Today we're doing a follow-up to the was Tatsumaki enhanced or empowered theory I did a couple days ago. This one is revolving around the setting or the initiation of that empowerment via the as what I'm calling the Psychic Research Society theory. The main idea obviously comes from that panel in 128 where she's behind bars and seemingly in prison. She's younger looking, so this could have been any number of years ago. And I'm going to call this group the Esper Research Society just for lack of no clarification as of yet, because I'm a manga only reader, so I have little to no information to go on any of this theory. But anyway, I could definitely see there being like an organization that monitors, researches, and experiments on espers because of, for like the betterment of humanity. And like it being like a humble kind of thing where like in the beginning, they're just wanting to unlock the secrets and the mysteries of espers and their supernatural powers to make life easier, and that could be done in different ways. Or in a general purpose of like defending the populace from the ever increasing monster attacks and threats that have ensued over the years. Especially given that this was likely before the Hero Association, and hero activity, only increased after its founding. So, like, yeah, heroes are going to be a bit more scattershot in the days prior. So, having this other plan definitely seemed like a likely thing for someone to be thinking of and trying to implement. But anyway, and like I said, this just makes a lot of sense to have like superpowered beings protecting the various cities and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but anyway, the next part is the betterment. This is where all the good of the society, if my theory is to be correct. As stated before, this group would be maybe on neutral to good intentions with its research, where like it's studying for beneficial works to make like improvements to everyday life, such as using Esper abilities to, like, okay, taking an example from another one of one's works, Mob Psycho 100, where there's a lot of psychics, so the thought of like teleportation being a psychic ability is something he's already done, and it would not be unheard of for it to eventually appear sometime in One Punch Man's universe as well. So like teleporting large pieces of equipment or materials for shipping and stuff long distances, or just telekinetically moving them by levitation and stuff, or disaster response, like evacuating people, getting the relief efforts in there, moving debris out of the way, or also reconstruction works after monster attacks. And like I said, also the monster repelling natures that heroes do every day. Next is the dark side of where this organization may be having some of its motives. Like everything in the world, where there is light, there is shadow. And this theory is no different. The simple fact that Tatsumaki is behind bars. Now, for the fact that typically when you have people behind bars, and if this is a research facility, that might indicate that the processes may not be humane. And that does make you kind of wonder why Tatsumaki is there, and by extension, Fubuki as well, because she is another Esper. So it's like, how did they get to such a place? And my ruminations go to a bunch of different places. I speculated this on the one 28 podcast on Grim Reaper's channel, so go check that out. But like, what if it was their very own families, driven by fear of just espers in general, because they have superpowers, from unknown means that can be scary. You see it all the time, like X-Men and all that kind of stuff. So it's nothing uncommon in the form of like pop culture and whatnot. But but also just like maybe they were sold off. Like, oh well, we could make some money off of these freaks. So they sold them off to an institute, a different kind of institute than Charles Xavier's. Or straight up kidnapping, because these are individuals that might have just been having like some form of a power, and they were kidnapped for nefarious reasons. We kind of saw this in Mob Psycho as well, with like Risu and a bunch of his later friends that all had powers, and they were taken in, and yeah, so wouldn't be unheard of that one would use a similar plot device. But so yeah, like kidnapping definitely could be an option here. Now, where it gets darker still is the nefarious purposes of why they're researching. Okay, for one, who is actually the benefactors of this think tank, let's call it, where you got to have financial support to run such operations. And just like the Hero Association, they have like all these multi-millionaires funneling in money to keep things afloat and operations going. Well, what if even similar benefactors are benefacting into this, supporting and backing this operation, even before the Hero Association got off the ground? And what if their main original reason was that they wanted private Esper armies? I mean, the thought does pop up, as a potential, like, and that might even explain, like, I was reading into Tatsumaki's like personality a little bit on the wiki. Again, I avoid the spoiler stuff from the webcomic, which luckily the wiki keeps that very separated. So thank you, people who do the wiki. It says that like she's very duty bound to the association, so that she'll do her job even though she doesn't always like doing it per se. And I'm wondering, was that a learned behavior for like the child soldier kind of thing maybe that was going on in the background of her younger days? Or is that just she was maybe saved by some of the first heroes of the Hero Association, and was freed? That's to say, if she wasn't like empowered enough to be able to break out because of like maybe dampening technology kept her weak, or she was able to just become strong enough to break herself free from that organization. I don't know. This theory really can go a lot of different ways. So I'm just kind of getting all my ideas out there. But yeah, anyway, if there is a financial link between these two organizations, the Esper Research Society and the Hero Association, yeah, that's where I think this might actually be proven true is Gearsper's helmet. He said that he got it from the Hero Association to control his powers. Now, given how limited, like, it seems to be that Esper powers are known and everything, and how much research is actually being done on that, we have no idea, but, like, it seems kind of dubious, wouldn't you say, that the association can just pop out a tool specifically for him like that, without, like, prior knowledge of him, so, and his powers, or just power, psychic powers in general. So, like, maybe there's a connection there with the financial ties, And then it was like, okay, well, we got files on this dude. We know research on him and other people like him. So here's a piece of equipment for him. Now, here comes the aftermath of this. This is potential aftermath, which could be very big. Um, this theory, like I said, already has kind of like darker tones and themes and implications, but one of the biggest implications would be if Tatsumaki, and by association Fubuki, actually, once they find out that the people that they've been working with in the Hero Association are actually tied with this rather possibly cruel treatment they got at the Esper Research Society, and they find out that there's a tie between the two of them, what's to keep them from just shirking off their duties as being heroes, leaving whole cities to rot in the wake of like future monster attacks? Because monsters are only going to get stronger, and Tatsumaki is a big powerhouse for the Hero Association, and Fubuki's still useful, but obviously Tatsumaki would be the bigger loss here. But it's like, or would she just like say to hell with it all and just go after those individuals, possibly destroying the Hero Association, because it'll be a very much like the Captain America Civil War, where you'll have like teams of heroes because they're like, Tatsumaki, what are you doing attacking these people? And it's like, they're the good guys, and it's like, no, they're not, but she doesn't tell them or whatever, and it's just like you have heroes fighting other heroes. It could be a very big arc if it so happened, but yeah, so yeah, like she would just leave a major gap in defensive power, but also could destroy the association at its core if there was inner fighting. So yeah, but that's about the theory as it stands right now. Let me know what you thought. Anything that sounded interesting, let me know down below. But anyway, check out all my other content, see what you like. Obviously, check out the prior video. And I've got at least one more coming up. Of like these like mini theory kind of deals. But anyway, so check those out when they come out. Check out all my previous content. See what you like, suggest things for the future. Follow my social medias so that you're always in the loop. I stream on Twitch, and I'll tweet it out when I go live. I'm obviously part of the One Punch Man podcast on Grim Reaper's channel, so check that out. And as always, thank you for watching, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Quiche-lings. Are the espers being discovered? Are they being researched? I don't know.